And all present here. Today our GD topic is, should voting be made compulsory? And according to us, no, it should not be made compulsory.
Okay, good morning, all of you. According to me, it should be made compulsory. And what are your point that why it should not made compulsory?
All right. I would like to initiate by saying that voting in our country is done in different timings. So people who are not living at the places where they belong to, it becomes very difficult for them to commute from one place to another, and it will make it kind of a hectic thing for them, or it will be something they would not appreciate, and it will create a lot of problems. That's why we say that it should not be made compulsory.
You said that it is not made on time, but in every 5 years, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha both elections are done. So,
I'm not saying that not on time, I'm saying on different timings.
okay.
Okay, there is no doubt while saying that people are facing many problems and election are not held in a same period of time. But if we go through on the constitution, because this India and the country is followed by due to constitution. So in constitution it is clearly written that the people should right to vote. So I feel that it's a duty of the every citizen that they should have to give the vote, so that they should have any problem regarding if anyone is elected and he is win the election.
According to my perception, in India, voting is not an and right. It is a compulsory provision that are implemented on the constitution. But we cannot avoid the every people's like they have to vote. They have to vote. And in elections, a lot of party leaders who have been lot of power and money, they are elected to be a leader. So it's there should be a eligibility
Eligibility.
criteria on that. They have to appear that and they have to pass that if they want to be a leader. And in government, they spend many money on that. They ensure the people that they have vote, but by spending too much money on banners and etc., we cannot sure that the people will vote.
Okay, but don't you feel that if we implement compulsory that everyone will give a vote, so it make a cutthroat competition? Like everyone will give a vote, and so with that, what happened that the competition is become very tough, and people are become very curious that, and the person who will be selected, he is the best one because every person has given a vote, and the competition is very high.
All right. Here I would like to ask you one question. See, we know we have the election for MPs that we call Lok Sabha election, where we kind of vote for the member of parliaments and they elect our PM, right? On the other hand, we also have the elections for MLAs, member of Legislative Assembly, the MLAs, and they elect the CM. So people are not able to get the job nearby their hometown. So they are living here and there. So for example, somebody is from Uttarakhand and the person is working somewhere in Delhi, right? And let's say tomorrow is the election in Uttarakhand, okay? But it's not election in Delhi. So the person will have to apply for a leave, and then everybody in Delhi who is from Uttarakhand would want to come to Uttarakhand because it is compulsory to cast a vote. And we know what kind of transportation system we have. Don't you think it will be a very hectic process for the people? So, in case if the government is really serious about it, in case if we really want to make it a compulsion for everyone to cast a vote, why can't we find a simple way that the people can sit back home and cast their vote? Maybe online, but the government doesn't have that intention, so making it compulsory in the process that it is at the moment, it will only create more problems for the people.
Yeah, people are facing a lot of problem, and if we made it compulsory, but it is the right of every person that they should have to give a vote. But if the government implement that thing, so the rest of the things should be improved so that people shouldn't face any kinds of problems.
Yeah, I slightly agree with you that it is a right, it is a right of every citizen to right to vote. But at the same time, if we look at the current situation, I find it unreasonable that we force the people to cast their vote, living here and there, coming to their hometown and casting vote, and spending extra money, and at times might not even get leave from the employer. So that is what I want to highlight here. I don't have a problem people casting vote because that's something good in a country like India. The largest democracy.
Yeah, sir. Sorry to stop you. Sir, you have said that one day before the people are means getting problem in transportation. So means there if a state election is rising. So before 1 month, the preparation for that election is being conducted. So the people are aware to get their state at time, that city, that to get their home at time. So people will be try to reach and vote.
Well, here, when I said the transportation system, I mean to say is that we are too many numbers, the second largest populated country in the world. So people know when Diwali is falling, people know when Raksha Bandhan is falling, people know when Holi is falling, or any other festival for that matter. But still, it becomes impossible for them to commute from one place to another during those days because we are too many in numbers. That's what I'm trying to highlight here. If all the people who are from Uttarakhand living in Delhi would want to come to Uttarakhand on the given day, it will kind of create a lot of problem for everyone.
But
I'm slightly agree with sir. What else they said that if we are coming on that day in which the election is falling, if like that the people are not curious about the election, means that if we are living outside, there's slightly we are looking for the employment and the what are the improvement that are being created by the leaders in the, so they are not interested to being elected the leaders. And if we will rampant it to be mandatory, so that like if we are
Yeah,
okay, so sir said there, sir given their statement. So there is a plus point of conducting the election in different in one place,
yeah, it should be on.
right? Not online. I'm talking. See, in every state the election were conducted one by one. So the plus point is that if in the whole country if the election is conducted in the same day, so it create a lot of problem. So if people living in Delhi, so they know that Uttarakhand the election is held in that day, particular day, so they are aware about that, and much more not they are try to face many problems just like if they were in Delhi also in Maharashtra, every place election are there and they were have to go on Uttarakhand, and they particularly they face many problems, but they elect the election in different period of time, so some benefit and people don't face much problems.
Point taken. But don't you think that it will put an extra financial burden on the people from to travel from one place to another, cast the vote, and come back, and the leave that they are taking, the money might get deducted, the salary might get deducted. They are not going to get any compensation from the government for doing so, right? What I'm trying to say is that if we really want people to practice their right to vote, why can't we make it a feasible practice for them? For example, make some app or some other way that the people can have, everybody, almost everyone has a smartphone and access to the computer or the internet these days. So the people can really be where they are and simply cast their vote. That would make it feasible for everyone and without putting any extra burden, any financial burden, or a compulsion to travel from one place to another or to take a leave. And that would make everybody happy. If people really want, if the government really want people to exercise their right to vote.
Yeah,
yes,
you
sir.
are right. So I'm also saying that if voting is made compulsory, so the government must need to change their schemes, which should be more reliable and comfortable for the people. As they made it compulsory, so it means that some if they are not able, they have to face some financially problem. So say they should have to give some
And
compensation.
sorry to chip in, there is another problem that generally the people in India who cast their vote are the people, either people from the villages who are not much educated, or the people who have connections with some parties, because generally the youth who is educated doesn't really take part in elections with a lot of enthusiasm, because a lot of people who are kind of competing in elections are the people who are from the criminal background, or come from some political parties. Nepotism is there,
So
and
there,
because of that reason the youth doesn't really want to take part in politics. And if we have some kind of eligibility for the people who are competing in elections, I think that would encourage the youth, and rather than forcing them to, or making it compulsory for the youth or for everybody to cast the vote, we should make the situation like everybody feels like casting a vote. I think that would make more sense.
okay, you talk about nepotism. I agree with that because in elections and in this politics, nepotism and familism we see everywhere. So, but the plus point is that, and now people are understanding that those who are doing a nepotism, how they are not supporting them. Just you take the example of Congress and BJP. So now people are aware that the Congress has done a nepotism just from the last 70 years, and now the government and people are well aware about that. And secondly, talk about criminal background. But in constitution and the eligibility for the people who are going to cast a vote, he should doesn't have any criminal background.
I mean, I'm not talking about people casting the vote. I'm talking about the people who are competing in the elections. And as you mentioned that nepotism. So the people don't see any change. Like if the Congress is not winning, those MPs will join BJP, and then they win the election and they help BJP to form or choose their PM, and everybody is the same. Like if we can see that what happened in Maharashtra recently, that BJP got some seats and Shiv Sena got some seats and the other parties got some seats, and now they are not able to form the government. So at the end of the day, the party who is able to spend more money will be able to get their CM on seat and will have the power. So somewhere, if the people are compelled to cast the vote, and this is the result of that, I don't think people gonna feel happy. And so making it compulsory is really make no sense.
Yes, so do you don't see that it has a very much advantage to our economy? Means by the government came, the new government will come, so he will come by new policies, and that will develop our economy.
When we talk about new policies, in a country like India, policies cannot be made every now and then. If we make a policy, we'll have to stick to it, because those policies are not like are policies among three, four people. It is between countries and for the particular businesses. So the policies will continue like the way they are. Little changes could be there, but not major changes, because that is not good for the growth of the country. So
As
every time the government changes and we change the policy, we would not be able to globally connect with other countries.
as you have said that will help us to financial a new condition or new rules in the state, in the country, as that if any political party have the money and the power, then they can implement the rule. Like the Modi government in 2014, they didn't have any power at that moment because it was their superior stage. It was their infancy as
Initial.
initial stage, and they didn't implement any rule. If then they create a new rule in 2017, maybe 16, that they have means that if like in Delhi government there are they are not get they have no any supreme, means that they are not any creation of new rules because they didn't have
Government.
any power or money to create the or influence the other government.
So
So
may I
that
tell you that Delhi is a union territory, so it comes under means
The
any
central
the
government.
central government. So You have said that, na? What you
No,
said?
they have been favor of other political party in on that. If you are means implementing a new rules, then the other political party may be favor on that. If that
May support you
yeah.
for the decisions that you are making.
Yeah, that you have seen that GST is implemented. Yeah, so that will not benefit the economy now. What means that is more helpful for future. Our future generation will get more benefits of it. Mm,
Yeah, one tax for everyone will make the business easy for everybody,
yeah.
and that will create a healthy competition. But here I would like to conclude the topic by saying that every coin has two sides. Nothing is good or bad.
Yes.
It's a perception that makes it so. Somewhere we can say that first of all, the people, the candidate who are competing for the election for different posts, there should be some eligibility criteria for them. Not any Tom, Dick, and Harry could be able to become a CM or a PM or some minister. They have to be qualified for that particular post. First of all, it will decrease the nepotism that we have in the system. Another thing, it will give chance to everybody who is deserving, and that would encourage everyone. And then, even if we make it compulsory, we also see that we find such a way that people don't really have to go from here to there to cast the vote. We make it somewhere, connected with the technology in a way that people can cast their vote from where they are.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to conclude by saying the statement that the eligibility criteria that is happening. So I feel that yeah, there is some transformation that is must in the election while choosing anyone. If anyone is elected for the voting, so he should be having certain criteria. He should fulfill some criteria regarding education background. This is correct, and also if voting is made compulsory, so people should have to make it more reliable for them, and some schemes were definitely made so that people don't face much problem.
All right. Thank you, everyone.